Welcome to the beginning of Season 2, where we are now called the Mighty Baker Podcast. During the last few podcasts of Season 1, I decided to bring my podcast and my coaching business completely under my bakery business brand, The Mighty Baker. If you've been listening to Season 1 and have been wanting coaching, please don't hesitate to reach out. I would be happy to coach you or refer you to some amazing life coaches. I am Pete Tidwell, your host. I am a custom cake artist, bakery business coach, certified life coach, and the CEO at my bakery business, The Mighty Baker. In Season 2, I will be sharing all my successes and failures over the last 13 years and what I've learned from them and how I pivoted and shifted my business along my journey. I will also be sharing positive mindset tips and business and life tips along the way. In addition, I will be sharing about my experiences as a 2-time winner on Food Network's Cake Wars and a finalist on Halloween Baking Championship. I will also be inviting some of my baker friends that I've met over the years in all my baking adventures and talking to them about why they chose cake or desserts as an art or business. Let's dive right into this week's episode. Hey, what's up, you guys? Pete Tidwell here. This is episode 1 of season 2. And this podcast is now called the Mighty Baker Podcast. As I mentioned in the intro, I have decided to change things around in my business a little bit and actually make it more simple, because there was a thing that I learned from my business coach on a retreat that I was on just recently. And we were talking about simplifying our businesses, simplifying our life, just simplifying, because what do we do most of the time is that we overcomplicate everything that we do. And I definitely overcomplicate things and come up with new business ideas and how can I do this and how can I do that, and it gets a little bit crazy. And with my Pete Tidwell coaching and the Mighty Mindset podcast that this was before, it is kind of interesting because I was going in a different direction and building out a separate coaching business, but really, now that I'm making these changes, it lays the perfect groundwork for what I'm trying to build. So in season 1, in the Mighty Mindset podcast that you'll hear it said that, it'll all be called the Mighty Baker Podcast now, but just if you see some different branding or different speaking in there. But what you're going to find is in these upcoming podcasts, I'm going to be talking about my journey of becoming a business owner and being an entrepreneur, and why I chose baking, why I chose cakes, why did I call my business The Mighty Baker, who I am, what's my background, what are the things that I like and the things that I like to do, why life coaching, why did I decide to get certified as a life coach? How did I make it onto TV? I've been on the Food Network 3 different times and have had an amazing experience there. I was on Cake Wars twice. I was on the Halloween Baking Championship as well. All those experiences are super fun. And what I realized is I've never really talked about them, like ever. I started my business almost 10 years ago. And yeah, I talk to people locally and people that I talk to and those kind of things, but I've never put it out there as content and to be able to share of my experience, because I feel like my experience can help give and provide value and learnings for those out there that want to run a baking business someday. No matter what age you are, there are things that you can learn from my journey. I've been doing this for about 10 years. I am a self-taught baker never taken a class before. I have a background in marketing and advertising in school and a little bit of business education. And ultimately, I have bootstrapped this thing together and have hustled my way through and pushed through this. And I've had a lot of great successes. I had a lot of great failures and a lot of great setbacks that I have learned so much from. And I would never for a million years change my journey at all. But by me going through and having that journey and making so many mistakes and trying so many different things, that you as listeners are all benefactors of my experience. I'm not here to tout anything, because ultimately I am an entrepreneur just like many people in the world, trying to make something work, trying to make something that I have passion for work as something that I can make a living from. It's a challenge. I would be much easier to just go out and get a full-time job because I have the resume. I have a great resume of experience and a lot of great skills that could benefit a huge company out there. Do I want to do that? I have chosen that I don't want to do that. I want to be a business owner. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to try to figure out how to make this work. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in this season. We're going to be talking about the whole journey, all the things, all the learnings, and what I'm most excited about, you guys. I am most excited about doing interviews with people and friends that I've met over the years. I have met so many people through these cake competitions and through other competitions and just through cake and desserts that their story needs to be told too. And there's learnings from their experience as well. And I think that is the way that we're going to be able to build the businesses and build the lives that we want. It's by being inspired by others and by being inspired by what others are doing and what they've learned. How can I learn from that? Because that is where true growth and learning comes from, is learning and getting information from other people, hearing other people's stories, hearing how things went for them, and how you can do things differently to have a different path and a different success, different whatever it may be. And also too, from a life coaching perspective, that's why I decided to get certified as a life coach, is because as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, or even as a career person working in a full-time job, you need the mindset management skills to be able to help you succeed and help you continue on, because our brains try to stop us in our tracks. And whether that's negative self-talk or whether that's doubting, whatever that may be, that's also something else I'm going to tackle here as well. How do people stay positive and stay fighting for the thing that they have a passion for and not get burnt out? How do we not get burnt out? And how do we keep going? What are the tips and the tricks and the mindset management tricks and the time management skills and the leadership skills, the business building skills to build out a strategy of systems so that you cannot spend as much time working in your business or even on your business? So we can put together strategies so that you don't have to spend as much time there. Being in and out of corporate marketing jobs and running my business for the last 10 years has been crazy. I've been working a full-time job while running a full-time brick and mortar location, trying to make things work and juggle so many different things. And that takes a lot, and it takes a big toll, especially on the mental health of the individual. And that is where life coaching and where this comes into such huge play, because the biggest thing that I have found that is in my way of succeeding is my own self-belief and my own self-confidence. And it comes all down to that. It's only you that's in your way of becoming or of building the bakery business or other business that you want and the life that you want. It's you that's in your way. So that's getting into some other things. And if you want to get more into the life coaching piece, please listen to season 1, because season 1 is going over everything basically that I learned in life coaching and what has been huge and beneficial for me. Now in season 2, we're going to be jumping into my story and how I have got to this point where I'm at and what that journey has looked like, the ups and downs, the learnings, and all those kind of things. And also, as we go through that, I'm going to be intertwining and weaving in the life coaching principles that I've shared from season 1. So there's going to be a lot of overlap and a lot of learning through this. But if you want some of that basis learning of why I have life coaching and positive mindset management, however you want to call it, as a big piece of this podcast and a big piece of who Pete Tidwell is and what the Mighty Baker is going to be becoming over time, that's a huge piece. And so that's an area that you should probably go listen to if you want to kind of have a little bit of context. Other than that, this is just going to be a fun journey as we go through. So feel free to reach out if you have any particular things that you want me to cover in the podcast. I'm going to be covering everything. So next episode, I'm going to be kind of starting out like, who is Pete Tidwell and who am I? Like, where did I grow up? Where did I live? What kind of things did I do when I was a kid? How did I get into like being interested in cakes or food or those kind of things? I'm going to talk about my first job working for my brother when I turned 15 and how that was kind of an intro into the food world. And we're going to be talking that and just kind of going through my story and talking about some fun experiences. So come join us for a fun ride. And this is going to be epic. And I'm excited, of course, because this is what I've been wanting to do for a really long time. But I had some things holding me back that were not allowing me to be able to be upfront and vulnerable and willing to share all of these things from my past and the things along my journey. But on my business retreat with Dave Moreno, I had some big breakthroughs, and I'm really excited to jump into this. And I am Pete Tidwell. I am the Mighty Baker, and let's tell this story. So please come back, join us for episode 2 next week, and I hope you all have a fantastic week, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Season 2 is going to be incredible, so stay tuned and buckle your seatbelts because in coming weeks, we're going to have some fun things we're talking about. The Mighty Baker has a lot of exciting things going on. Head to themightybaker.com or follow us on social media at The Mighty Baker to stay updated on what we have coming down the pipeline. One new area of my business that I'm very excited about is my bakery business coaching. I am now taking on one-on-one clients, coaching them on how to grow their bakery business and how to stay sane as a small business owner. Head to bakerybusinesscoach.com to sign up for a free 30-minute discovery coaching session. I'd love to coach you on any issues you have going on in your business or your life as a business owner. Please join us next time on the Mighty Baker podcast. This is your host, Pete Tidwell, signing off and reminding you to make your day a mighty one.